We'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this project is created, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We'd also like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Settle down and gather round for another tale. In the world of Nua, where time has carved and cultivated a magical utopia of wonder, a small group of adventurers unlock the deep mysteries of the land, its people, and themselves. Welcome to the Down Under Dungeon podcast.
Dear Merle, where are you? From Thing. To the Wellspringers. Our first day as a newly named group didn't prove to be one of our best. I hope that's okay to write. It started really well when I deciphered the map we found in the ancient ruins. It showed that the Moon Gate is connected to the Arcanite Henge, Yalscroft's Keep, and the Stone Lotus, which we now realize is where the Bear, the Burrowers, and the Blood Ravens have been hiding out. Things started to go a little downhill after that though. We went to the Septic Speakeasy to see that Yellen had shut it down, proving that she is exactly as boring as I thought she was. Kibble Anthrax was inside and we learned that she is the mistress and that she is leaving the city. I figured we needed allies moving forward in this, people who would owe us. I find I have a moral conundrum in that we are supposedly helping Yalscroft, but he has been helping the mistress, who has been helping herself via child slavery. I am a tad confused, to say the least. Obviously, child slavery is bad, but, you know. With her leaving La Ludrud, we figured it might be nice to have somewhere we could meet secretly, and it has a few entrances and exits. But Lysandra, you figured it would be too risky to use this place with the secret entrances connected to the Last Lagoon and Yellen's base. I suppose that makes sense. Maybe La Ludrud is becoming too dangerous for us as a group. Getting to meet Vanessa, the mortician, with you all was great though. Getting to watch her do her science thing was honestly kind of incredible. Just to watch someone doing the thing that they love. You know, not that I understand it. She studied that red potion that we found in the ancient ruins and found that it already had europium in it. Queek, I know you weren't surprised, but I have to confess I had no idea. Scarily, this potion can remove an immortal being of their immortality. Which was honestly scary timing as Louis, you literally told us your story that morning. And how when you and your wife Susanna went to sleep like 50 years ago, she passed away and so did you kind of, but you woke up. So I guess I'm really sorry that Vanessa found absolutely nothing different when she studied your blood, but hey, perfectly healthy and normal isn't a bad thing, right?
No, I was on the tram last night listening to music quite loud in my headphones when suddenly I heard like blasting music.
Oh god.
So loud, and I was like,
Not a busker.
I'm taking it off. No. Just someone who had brought their speaker up to the tram and decided to have it on like legitimately had to have been full volume.
Was this the 16? Or the 96?
96.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's such like 96.
It's just
my second time on the 96. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
It's the road down Fitzroy Street.
Yeah.
People's decorum on public transport just needs to honestly be studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people on this tram.
As for the speaker, I can only apologise, but I was really feeling my Chapel Rowan and I did the whole train.
You played Chaperone at the Baby Gravy concert last night in the pre-show. It was great.
So good. Oh, Baby Gravy, yeah, I saw that on your story.
It was so fun.
So good. Alrighty, simmer down. I'm simmered.
So this is just going
Mostly
to
boiling.
I'm well simmered.
this is just going to be an episode of you gaslighting us, or
Yeah.
Isn't that basically what DMing is?
Everyone, hold your applause.
Yeah.
It's the blatant excuse to straight up sometimes just lie to your players. So
Yeah. But it was so cool that we got to meet the NPC last week.
Yes.
The competition.
Richardson.
She was really cool.
She was so cool, but the damn Vanessa Richardson, she needs to get that name changed at the count. At the council
Why? What's wrong with her name?
I mean, just for such a I do enjoy somewhat the dichotomy of a really fleshed out, rich character. It's just the most plain name in history.
Vanessa Richardson.
It sounds like
Politician.
it sounds like when they put you away for like state secrets. Witness protection.
Were they a high elf as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, could you imagine Arjuinavir with the name
Arjuinavir is like,
surely we
yes,
never
I know
introduced
Vanessa
them.
from the club.
That was part of the inspiration for having an elf with a disability and someone who is reckoned with that for all immortality, should they, you know what I mean? So I thought that was nice to explore.
So what happened last week?
So, arriving at the speakeasy, you discovered that it was closed and abandoned. You discovered a sign on the door bearing the demarcation of the Tears of Persephone. Warning, place of debauchery and antisocial behaviour. Liquor is a vice to the people, bringing violence, danger and malaise. Closed for repurposing by order of the Jarl.
Boo.
Just. Ooh. I like Malays.
Once inside, you discovered the dethroned mistress and proprietor of the septic speakeasy, Dr. Kibble Anthrax. Dr. Kibble used most of the vagabond children in order to exploit the water of the last lagoon. Many of the people believed that this relationship was unethical.
Maybe just a little unethical.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, as we established last time, child slave labour is bad.
Yes.
In case anyone was confused.
Everyone's confused. There might be a few Andrew Tate listeners out there. If they're here, they can go.
That is so confusing. Also, episode, what, 20? 22.
And they're like, I'm out. That's it. That's the last straw.
Hey.
While Dr. Kibble lets you in on her plans and her potential to capitalize on the European boom in different ways, without anything to keep her here, she has resolved to leave on the morrow, leaving you, the Wellspringers, with an opportunity to perhaps have a more secluded and private rendezvous point, should you need it, moving forward in the city and as the election draws closer. Arriving at the mortuary, you met the mortician Vanessa, a high elf who had resolved herself to the study of death and Lullaby. After discovering you had similar information, you produced the vial. She discovered that its properties would revert the effects of immortality on a creature.
I also realized that was revealed literally after Feng asked Louis, like, would you choose that? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's...
Ooh.
There's a reason that I, above the table and on the table, was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And leaving that information on the table, Louis decided to come forth about her condition to the mortician.
Good person to ask,
Yeah.
really.
But also the beautiful scene of you telling the party in the morning.
That was so sweet. Thanks for taking it so well.
Yeah.
Real freak out.
So after sharing this with the mortician, you conducted some experiments against your will. However, she was able to deduce that you were the most healthiest dead person she had ever witnessed. And perhaps that the greater will, a philosophical, magical concept, might have something to do with your condition.
I was about to make a joke about it being thanks to the well, and it's the greater
The greater well.
We shall replace the greater well with the greater well.
Okay, so we just have to dig a big hole in the great well.
Yeah.
We turn Lullaby into a big well. That's how we win.
Yeah. Well springing.
Yeah, like springing a well.
Yeah.
And this is where we find our party now amidst these revelations in the mortician's office. It is late in the day now. The sun is truly setting.
I suppose we're meant to be making our way to Miss Miranda soon, right?
Probably.
I mean, you can wait another day, but time is of the essence now.
Yeah.
No.
I think Louis is just going to turn to Vanessa and just thank her for everything, and ask her to keep the information that she's found under wraps.
She says, well, again, with consent, discretion is not usually something I'm worried about. These patients have left this earth, but I will try my best. I understand the sensitivity of the information that you bring me, and I will be sure to guard it wisely.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions of the mortician?
As Louis kind of finishes thanking Vanessa for her services, it does come to her head that this is a, frontier city. People are in need of stuff out here, so she's, thinking payment. In terms of thanks or further interests in working together, we've heard potentially of some incidents that you may have dealt with within the pension prospecting company?
Yes. Well, whichever ones are actually bought, it's usually the families of the workers, long after the incident has occurred, and it is much harder for me to pinpoint the cause of death. Hence some of my experimentation. I believe they would like not to be liable for their actions.
Yeah, I've been asked by some people to look into them and might have a little bit of information on some of their more back-end dealings, if you were interested in a trade for your services.
Do you offer her your dossiers that you swiped from the side? She glances them and says, well, there's certainly a lot more information in there than that, but this is definitely a start. I could start drawing a petition. Is there anything else you want me to look for specifically?
Louis kind of looks around to the group.
Quig will speak up. We've kind of heard a few things about maybe loose ends, undocumented shipments being sent to other places, so we are trying to find out where the Europium's going once they dig it up.
You see the mortician nods and says, that should be pretty easy to work out. Leave it with me for a few days. I do have to, I do have clients waiting still. She gestures behind you to the small sunken graves where these poor cadavers are just lying. It's quite peaceful in here if it weren't for all the dead bodies.
Feng kind of scratches his head and goes, is there a way for us to maybe meet back with you without entering through your front door, so maybe other people can't see us, pretending he doesn't already know that there's...
So I guess this is either deception or persuasion. I'm actually not sure. It's kind of a weird one because you're deceiving her in a persuasive way under the proviso and assumption that she understands what your intention is. Oh boy.
Yes.
Let him cook.
Well, I can roll multiple things. What do you want me to roll?
I will say roll a deception check here because you are hiding your true intentions.
Okay.
Can Louis give you a bardic?
Yeah, go for it. Is that a D6?
Yeah,
Thank
just
you.
a quick touch on the shoulder.
So that becomes a total of a 12.
She says, well, there's a way for you to see me. I can't really get down into the basement anymore, so I just, it's a bit of a mess down there. I just kind of haul them in there after I'm done with them, but you can definitely come through the basement. But the septic speakeasy has a adjacent cellar that sometimes Dr. Kibble's accidents were disposed of, and there was a mutual kind of agreement there where I was able to continue my experiment, and I had some discretion, so... Right.
Cool.
Yeah, no worries. I suppose that we could make our way through that entrance sometime. We just saw her leaving the city, so I can't imagine that she will be using it anytime soon.
Then roll me a history check.
Okay.
To learn about eminent domain law.
It's
very important.
I've been so ready for this.
13.
With 13, you remember the vagabonds telling you that they would take the water to a specific place closer to the last lagoon in order to bring it back to the mistress, which suggests to you that perhaps maybe that there is another secret entrance through which you can arrive into the septic speakeasy without being seen. The only downside to that is that it's closer to the last lagoon, and you know who's now closer to the last lagoon.
Yeah, that's so true. I suppose it's just, at least we've got more than one entrance, so that if we can't make it into one, we at least maybe have another one that we could tap into.
As the sun begins to set proper, you say your goodbyes to Vanessa, who then continues busily with her work. Where do you resolve to go next?
We have the invitation to Miss Miranda's. Should we have a look?
Yeah, when did we pass that last? Was that little portal? What was standing at the front? Was it a troll?
Something.
It was Ugg the troll.
Ugh, the troll. I remember that.
So do we need, like, proper attire to get into this place? It sounds pretty fancy.
Cue the fashion episode.
Flashing stars,
Sailor Moon.
lights.
The transformation sequence.
You can definitely make your way back to the Four Eyes to prepare before you head down to Miss Miranda's. So I guess improv for me how you will make do with what would reasonably be within the outpost in order to help you. It's too late now to go shopping, so you're going to have to make do.
Going back to the Four Eyes, Louis, who is always kind of finding herself in like long layers and scarves and different types of fabric that shimmer and shine. So she has quite an ornate collection of fabrics and scarves and clothes and things with her. So Louis kind of takes off her main sort of general dusty outer layers and kind of over the top of her petticoats puts like fancy oranges and pinks and purples and golds and kind of blends it all together, pins it in a way that it looks like a kind of almost ornate sort of A-frame, but with a like shawl that's thrown up over her shoulder and looks like decorated and fancy. And then wants to do kind of picking out different sort of colours, and it'll probably be a similar sort of colour scheme, but she tries not to dress Lysandra exactly the same, but like kind of does a little dress-up doll of like pinning things and fitting things and being like, you know, if you end up liking this, I could probably take a couple days to put it properly together.
I think Lysandra just looks kind of uncomfortable and is just not knowing where to put her arms and is like trying to hold her hair out of the way, and it's just like, that feels like, oh, that's poking me.
Promise it's not poking you. You're imagining it. I'm very good at what I do.
Oh, okay. Does it look okay? Am I holding myself all right?
You look wonderful. Put some confidence. You're okay. And Louis in this moment also wants to have used her creation feat to kind of have a like, almost just like when Cinderella's having things knit up, just like other bits and pieces kind of helping her put things together as there's kind of a little maelstrom of fabric going on.
Wonderful. And as for the gentleman for the evening, Quig.
So, Quig, casting Disguise Self on himself, has got a sort of, if anyone knows Black Butler, the manga anime, it's very similar, like, long, slender tailcoat and waistcoat, but it's the suit itself is a sort of like bottle green, and he's got a sort of burgundy waistcoat underneath. He's got like a chain for a watch that's coming down, and just very dapper looking Quig.
And Feng.
Feng is going to take inspiration from Quig and cast Disguise Self as well to change his clothes. And he is going to... I've actually just quickly Googled, like, what materials, like, fire dancers and fire spinners wear and stuff. And, like, what's fire resistant. Kevlar came up. I'm not going to make, like, a Kevlar suit. But one of the things that fire spinners often wear seems to be silk. So I want to do, like... a full like silk suit almost with like a belt kind of tie around the middle. I reckon it's almost like a sunset where it's more yellow towards the top and it goes down to like a deep orange on the legs. And it's probably the first time Feng's ever dressed up in his life as well. So Feng's probably feeling a little bit similarly uncomfortable as Lysandra does right now. And so he's like kind of like holding his arms up, forgetting that he's 7'3", and so probably hitting the ceiling as well. And so he's just like turning to Quig in distress and going, "Do I look okay? Is there like, am I okay?
It's fine. It's fine.
Is this how you're meant to go to
yes,
places?"
But you should like your arms. You're holding them out like you're a tree. You can just relax them by your side.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that's classic thing of being like, opulence, silk pajamas.
Absolutely. Dress for comfort.
Yes. I think as everyone gets ready as well, going into high society events as a low society person is kind of Louis' shit. So she kind of just wants to take a second to brief everyone and kind of go through the kind of usual statutes of decorum at an invite-only place, how you should behave, things like that. And she wants to use that to give everybody a bardic inspiration to start the night with.
Ooh,
Nice.
sick.
Thank you.
Awesome.
No worries.
Alrighty. As you make your way back through the tent city, you see lanterns have been erected, light scatters on the sand. Even a few days out now from the storm, the days haven't been as relentless and the nights are cool and pleasant rather than bitterly cold. You see most of the people are out on the street for once. No one is really clamoring around the septic speakeasy, for example, and there's more life in the tent city and there's more eyes, and so things are starting to pick up a little bit. You see less and less shady characters, less and less instances of public drunkenness, which might fill you with a sense of pleasure or displeasure and unease as you make your way down into the gorge. From what you have heard in rumours and gossip around the city in your time here, Miss Miranda's saloon is strictly invite only, with only high rollers being permitted entry. As you make your way down into the Udrud Gorge, I would like you all to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So let us all be actual high rollers now, please.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
We got this.
Did anyone get below a 10?
No.
No.
Perception?
Yeah.
I got an 11. I got an 11.
Well done, gang. You know that the saloon itself represents a pocket plane of respite and respectability for the well-to-do in the frontier, or those from further afield who teleport exclusively in to enjoy Miranda's delights. Those with enough coin can enjoy the fineries whilst being entertained by the matron herself, a high honour indeed. Miranda's reputation is one of splendour and charm. It is almost as if those who lost their fortunes to her were so beguiled and charmed they wholly seemed not to resent her, but endorsed their patronage to her establishment. With those perception checks, as you move down the well-trodden trail into Udrud Gorge, the light fading, you come across a familiar scene. A massive troll stands under a ledge in the canyon wall. Affixed to the ledge in large bulbous lights reads Miss Miranda's Saloon and Card Den, with what appear to be moon pixies inside. Behind the troll, an aura of dark red and purple light emanate from a portal, signalling a tear to a demiplane. As you approach, Ugg, the troll, nods, recognizing you
Oh.
from the last time you had passed by the portal.
Yeah, we wanted to enter. We just
But
weren't allowed.
fancy enough.
We were told to go away, basically.
You see he looks you up and down in all of your fancy clothes and says, "Good evening.
Good evening.
You have business with the mistress, Miranda?"
Fang holds up the invite and goes, I think we've been invited to this club or place of celebration.
We've been sent an invite by the host.
You see begrudgingly Ugg lifts an eyebrow and you hear like a crunching noise in his mouth, almost like he's been like chewing on bones recently and still had some stuck in his teeth. After a beat, Ugg stands to the side, outstretching his massive paw to permit you entry to the demiplane. What do you do?
Go through.
I think we go through.
Thanks, Hug.
Lysandra's just gonna like bow slightly to Hug and then head on.
Yeah, are we pulling any looks on the street? Are people impressed with our outfits? What's happening?
You see, now that you're closer down to the lagoon, really only the Tears of Persephone frequent down here. So it is much more demure in the Udrud Gorge than it has been of late. So there aren't really many foot traffic as there was before. A lot of people in the gorge don't like change, and things have stayed the same for a very long time, and now things are changing very fast. So apart from the occasional family you see leaving, there's no one of interest or paying you any mind. The last thing on a lot of these residents' minds right now is something as frivolous as a demi-plane saloon.
Yeah, maybe we didn't think about the optics of us like dressing up while they're going through such a hard time. Like maybe we shouldn't have done that like whole fashion sequence.
Well, too late now.
We should have erected a tent right here
Yeah.
to get changed.
Yeah.
Like the sun changing tents at the beach. Walk in, change an outfit, you come out in the swimsuit.
Yes.
As you outstretch your hands to the rift, the light suddenly turns out in the world. In the far distance, you see a gleam of red and gold, which flashes into your vision, and suddenly you feel the sensation of rich, plush carpet underneath, and the rhythmic, haunting melody of a fiddle. You can all now make investigation or perception checks.
Ooh.
Feng is going to go for perception.
Lysandra will go for perception.
Quig shall investigate.
I'm also gonna go perception.
Okay, did anyone get lower than a 10?
Feng did.
Did anyone roll above a 15?
Lysandra did. She rolled a 17.
Okay. You have appeared in an opulent main chamber, carved from a strange material resembling the texture of dark stone, but carved, shaped and warped into what appears to be wooden panels. Candles line the base of the walls, illuminating the hollowed visages of 100 skulls, stacked from the bottom of the ground to the top of the archway. A haunting, yet intricate and beautiful visage. A huge whalebone chandelier dangles from the centre of the ceiling. A humming and buzzing can be heard from within, and with that perception check, Lysandra, you spot moon pixies from within, deducing that it must be a moon pixie nest.
Feng never sees the moon pixies as the lights. That's like the third time I failed.
Oh, I definitely think Lysandra would point them out. Like 100%. I think she would first just...
Okay, hold on, I'm not finished.
Okay, sorry. I'll shut up.
Scattered in rosette patterns throughout the room are high-backed booths made from ebony wood and embossed with plush blue leather with silver trimmings. At the rear of the saloon sits an enormous bar, stretching from one side of the room to the other. Behind this bar rests shelves upon shelves of every colour of liquid you could imagine. Some of the bottles glow, and others manifest eyes that glare down on the aged halfling bartender below. Only a few patrons can be seen in here, mostly quiet and keeping to themselves. Others are simply passed out, their makeup smudged, silken robes scrunched up on the floor. To one corner, an ornate fiddle plays its tune, completely on its own accord, floating around 4 foot from the ground. This room seems quite demure. However, 3 archways can be seen leading off 2 other areas, each inscribed with a specific symbol. While you cannot make out the rooms beyond, you do hear considerable whoops and cheers from some of them.
Whoops and cheers.
They're whooping and cheering.
Yeah.
Right over there.
What would you like to do initially?
Did you say that the rooms had words of what they were?
Symbols.
Symbols. What are the symbols?
What did you roll for your perception?
10.
You see that there are 3 symbols on each of the archways. One is of a mummer's mask, one is of a chalice, and one is of a flame.
Well, we've got in here, or we've got mask, chalice, or fire.
I think I'm meant to go in the fire one.
Should you really go in there alone, Fang?
Let's not split up.
No, we're not splitting up tonight. I think we need to stay together.
If we're invited as a group, let's stay as a group.
For sure.
Or should we follow the...
We only have one invitation.
Do we get a drink?
Sounds good.
Okay.
As you approach the bar, you see this ancient halfling bartender is just finishing a round of cocktails. 26 to be exact. And as he places the final citron twist in the last slender glass, resting onto an enormous silver platter, he nonchalantly summons an air mephit who, straining under the weight, precariously bobs the platter away and into one of the antechambers to a further ruckus of hoots and hollers. At your approach, he says, "You must be the new adventuring party to the city, and of course, distinguished guests of Miss Miranda. Good evening, how fare thee?"
Good evening, we fare well. And yourself, good sir?
Work is work, as always. There is no retirement age in the demi-plane.
Oh.
Thing casts lesser restoration.
You clear up his bronchitis.
Doing good.
I should do like a really sexy voice now, but I can't. I simply
Post cold, like
yeah, I simply can't.
Ah, yes, welcome.
Well, as you can imagine, Miss Miranda is a collector of curiosities, but not all her trinkets prove to be, and he glances around at all of you, valuable. So,
Oh my god.
holy fuck.
should you want to continue frequenting this hallowed establishment, you must impress her. And he pushes a menu towards you, explaining how Miss Miranda's saloon works. So, you can convert $50 in gold for 20 of Miss Miranda's...
$50?
Sorry.
In real life. I'm here to pay you.
No, it's yen. No.
again.
Yeah, we accept... Imagine if they're like, we accept gold, American Express, and yen. That is it.
When we start live streaming, we'll be like, all right, chat. $50 gets us into the next room.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
In silence.
This is on you. This is your decision.
Come on, guys.
So you can cash in 50 gold for 20 of Miranda's saloon doubloons.
Ooh.
So 5 doubloons, which are these huge circular coins with the visage of a jester holding a snake and a rose, will permit entry into the events of one of the 3 antechambers. So it's 5 doubloons per entry.
Okay.
Each room has a distinct theme and entertainment, all with the possibility to increase your stash. Only those with the largest piles of gold will attract the attention of Miss Miranda and may receive an invite to her exclusive room. Moreover, you see at the bottom in an appendix, Miss Miranda has ensured a bonus prize and has released a quickling somewhere in the saloon. Catch it for a special prize.
What's a quickling?
Very
Quig.
fast little guy.
You would know exactly what a quickling is. It is a tiny fey. It is very hard to see and very hard to catch.
Yep.
But not very strong once you catch it.
Fang immediately starts looking for an animal that's running around, ready to pounce.
Like a cat with a laser.
Why are you sniffing the floor?
Yeah, thank you.
So were you not listening to Louis' lesson before?
You can make me either a perception, survival, or investigation check.
Okay, I'm gonna go survival. That's a 23.
Oh.
That is so close to the DC. It's funny. That'd be kind of bad though. You do see Feng gets to the floor like a truffle pig, and you are able to rule out that the quickling is not currently in this chamber.
No one needs to look in here anymore. It's not in here. Don't worry.
Thank you, Faye.
Roll to see if you believe him. No.
Like, great.
I'm curious. Do our outfits get us any extra coins? Do they
Was
impress?
it worth it?
Was it worth it?
No.
We didn't get turned away at the door.
True.
It definitely seems that their antechambers are where the people to impress are. This almost seems like a nexus point where people can chill out or return to if they've overindulged.
Right.
You see on the menu the 3 antechamber items read: the audible gambit, which is the mummer's mask. A test of constitution is the chalice. And then the flame represents the wyvern's grotto. What would you like to do?
Fang will kind of turn to everyone and say, I know we said we weren't going to split up tonight, but we kind of all have different strengths, and it seems that we need to collect as much gold or coins as possible so that we can meet Miss Miranda, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do that all together.
Look, Feng, I like your initiative, but I'm not feeling too strong, and I think we should probably stick together. I mean, we are here as the Wellspringers, not as individuals.
That's totally true. I didn't think about that. This is our first official outing as a party. Now that I think about it, have we come up with an insignia? Should we be putting our marketing brains on and wearing badges right now?
I have embroidery supplies. If you think of anything, I can stitch it up.
I have a good idea. How about it's like a drop of water?
Oh no.
I think Sandra's just going to slap Quig.
I dodge.
I dodge.
No, I'm taking the dodge action already, man.
I just think that out of like a reflex, she'll just go and turn and slap him across the face.
You don't have to roll for that. If you want to slap your comrades, that's up to you.
I'm being knocked to the floor and thrown.
So which of the 3 rooms would you like to enter first?
But are we all gonna get a certain amount of coins though?
Yes,
it's 50,
yes, yeah.
So it's
50 gold for 20 coins.
Yes.
Perfect, so we all get 20
Should we all do 20 coins?
Yeah.
Sick,
I think
let's
we've got
do
the
it.
cash for it.
It also occurs to you that you'll be able to cash these back in before you leave.
Oh,
Oh, of
perfect.
course.
Beautiful.
Maybe we can like buy extra coins at the end if we need extra attention.
So, you all buy in, yes, to
Yeah.
play?
Yes.
So all remove 50 gold and you receive 20 of Miranda's doubloons. They are thick and heavy and slightly magnetic, and you see that they slot together and kind of attracted to each other to make it easier for those who, let's say, maybe a bit inebriated to look after their stashes.
Yeah, did we end up buying a drink? I can't remember.
There's a large array of cocktails and drinks that you can order, but something tells me that from looking around at the patrons in this room, it make me an insight check. Fang. I was just
okay.
deciding who to
Yes.
ask.
That's a 15.
This is a casino, and you have never frequented that before. But even with that insight, you could see how someone would encourage gambling with very, very strong drinks.
Thing I think is about to find another vice for himself.
Can I roll to see if I encounter one of the packers in this demi-blade?
One of the...
No, it is rough.
As in like
Oh.
Kerry Packer and James Packer.
I was like, which group of the Packers? Oh my god, they are the pension prospecting company. Honestly,
Gina Ryan.
Gina Reinhardt has shares in the pension prospecting company. Hey, but honestly, we need a sponsor. Like,
Yeah, now that the netballers
yeah, we say
up in arms about sponsoring us.
we draw the line at Andrew Tate, but Gina Reinhardt, we will take your money.
Fun deal.
Jesus.
We're topical. So topical.
It's the producer going, oh fuck.
Yeah, literally.
Also, with that inside check, you could get a drink, but you see the chalice symbol and connect the dots with the test of constitution, and maybe if you wanted to start that vice, that might be the best place to go. Maybe not the fire one.
Thing might pace himself.
Quick, comes in, like, sees Fang just eyeing
He's
the
very
alcohol.
antsy.
He's like, Fang, I need you to hold off for now. We are going to catch that quickling. Okay, I have a plan.
Quick, this is the first time I've dressed up. It's the first time I have money. I don't know. It's like a new sense of power. I'm like losing myself.
Fang,
I don't know what's
hold
going on.
yourself together. I can't reach his head. I'm like, pull yourself together for a moment.
Okay,
I think I have a good plan for catching that quickling.
let's go.
Okay, so when either of us see it, okay, if you see it,
Yep.
if anyone sees it, you're gonna point it out to me, okay? And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and vortex warp it to Fang. And Fang, when I say go, you just gotta catch it. It's gonna be in your arms.
So like I'm just meant to like hold my hands out, and then as soon as you
if I
say go,
if I say go, then just clasp.
clap. Okay, I need a
It's about
countdown. Like,
yay big, and I start gesturing the
Is it-
size of a quickling. It's a little smaller than me.
Is it 3, 2, 1, go? And I'm clasping on go.
I'll be casting a spell, and then I'll say go at the very end of me casting it. You're
Okay.
here.
And then I just clasp. Okay, that's not hard, right? Right?
Right.
You've got
Fang
it.
does his kegels. He's one of them.
Yeah, clench.
Thing clenches.
All right, what do we want to do?
Yeah, where are we gonna go first?
So there's the mask, the chalice, and the fire. Why
go left to
why
right.
don't we roll a d6?
Okay.
And then 1 to 2 is the mask, 3 to 4 is the chalice, and 5 to 6 is the fire.
Go for
Sounds
it.
good.
Remember
Perfect.
roll.
A 1.
Audible Gambit.
Audible Gambit.
You make your way through into the first of the antechambers.
5 coin entry.
You might not decide to play yet.
Oh, so it's only if you play.
You walk into a room larger than the one that you just left. This place resembles the dining hall of a vast galley ship. It appears to even sway slightly as if it's bobbing in a vast ocean as you cross over the threshold. You see dirty black tar lanterns dangling from the ceiling that seems to disappear into the nothingness, and you notice a large wooden table is erected in the middle, upon which you see a handsome young bard cooing and guffawing at the delight of a gaggle of his sycophants seated around him. You see,
gaggling?
Yeah, one of them's like a Kenku goose person who's literally gaggling.
I was just about to say, are they gaggling like a pack of geese or
One of them's
a gaggle of geese?
You see all of these people are greatly inebriated, and this bard has them eating out of his hands, and it looks like he's been here for quite a while, unopposed. And he looks up at you all and says, "Ah, new challenges, eh?"
Quick pushes Louis forward. This is your thing. Audible, go.
Oh, and where is my challenger? I'm guessing it's somewhere behind that decrepit old woman over there.
Do I recognize him at all?
No, you do
Okay.
not. This person is far more exotic and pompous for your taste. In fact, the reek of Arduinovia.
Boys.
If you're looking for a challenger, I think you're looking at me, bucko.
Oh, is that true?
It's not gonna be out.
No.
He just gets what's on this guy's cell phone.
And it's Arduino.
If I'll
I've been hiding from my father.
You see this handsome bard jumps down from the table and saunters over to you and says, "Well, I don't mean to brag, but I am the mascot for the Starlit Conservatory, and so I have a lot of experience in this department. And what is your experience, milady?" And he's going to make an insight check on you all and your costumes.
Okay.
It's a nat 20.
No.
He says, "Oh no, no, please, no, Louis, no, leave Grandma alone." You see he looks you up and down and he says, "My, oh my, I need to get you the number of my friends, Taylor, because this is not gonna do." And you see the crowd behind him erupts in cheers and delight. You see...
Can I just impose a charisma save on Feng? Because he was so happy to dress up for the first time. And I'm really sad now. It is a dirty 20, so Feng holds it together, but I'm really
Suck the tear. You will the tear to like evaporate.
Yeah.
I think I just over my shoulder say, he's all gas, don't worry about him.
Fuck him up, please.
Try.
Well, if you want to, give it your best shot. And he explains the rules. So, you can use whatever bardic inspiration you'd like here, whether that is oration, music, whatever you like, but it will be contested with Bradley.
Okay.
His name's
Bradley?
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to roll a d6 behind the screen, and this is going to determine the temperament of the crowd to which you are performing to, i.e. their age, what they're into. Are they very religious? Are they not very religious?
Okay.
You will make an insight check to determine how you want to try and flavor your performance to persuade these people.
Okay.
You see that Louis sets up herself on the other side of the dining table where the seats are empty, I guess, save for you three.
Yeah, do we need to do anything? Are we backup dancers or are we the special effects department? What's happening?
We can be the special effects
You
department.
can definitely give her
special
the help.
effects.
You can definitely give her the help.
Awesome.
But it will be Louis' money on the table if you decide. So, you, after making that insight check, it will then determine the subsequent DC for your performance or ability check, depending on what type of bardistry you want to do. I will then determine on what you roll and your insight check, mathematically determine who is the strongest performance, and they will take all of the gold wagered. The winner is decided by how many people sit on whose side of which performance on the table.
I love this.
If you manage to do a spectacular performance, you will also be granted Miss Miranda's blessing and receive an extra 50 doubloons.
Whoa!
Okay, I will now roll a d6, and you need to tell me how Louis is preparing and how she is going about sussing out the crowd.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's like peeking behind the curtains in performance.
I think Louis, as she's kind of preparing and is like trying to bring out her joints, she's going to cast Detect Thoughts on the crowd.
Ooh. Okay, and that is just up, yes?
Yeah, so unless
Thoughts.
So just to get the surface thoughts, unless I want to delve deeper on anyone, which I don't want to at the moment, I just want to see, like, use that to get an insight on what the crowd is doing.
Okay, you throw that up. Is anyone else wanting to help Louis in this way?
I think Quig will want to. When he sees that she's casting Detect Thoughts, he's like, tell me what you hear.
Yep.
He wants her to relay the information back to him.
Absolutely.
Then he can help.
Feng will also use the opportunity to walk over to Louis after he was so heartbroken by this person insulting the first time he dressed up, and he almost like he clicks his fingers and creates a flame in his hand, and it's burning like red hot, and he almost like douses it over Louis and casts Enhance Ability, giving her advantage on charisma checks.
Thank you.
And says, please make a mockery of this guy because I'm kind of heartbroken a little bit. I just don't want anyone to see it.
I'll try my best.
When Feng casts that spell on you, Louis, your Detect Thoughts ping and hover over Bradley, and his surface level thought is, damn it, Arduinovia should have been here.
I was thinking they're spring break buddies, remember?
And as you look over,
waiting to see him.
Yep.
And as you look over with that D6, you notice there are mostly young, youthful folk on his side of the table.
Yeah.
And you realise, Quig, in this draining sense of moment, that these are probably all recent graduates of the Starlight Conservatory.
Awful. Incredibly awful.
The question for the DM here, there's like flames in this room and like lanterns and stuff, right?
Yes, yeah, I did add there are multiple lanterns dangling from the ceiling, yes.
Yeah, what colour are they?
Red to orange.
Red to orange, perfect. Well, given Louis' magic is what colour?
It's kind of like orange and purple.
Orange and purple?
Kind of mixed together.
Perfect. While you're prepping to get the audience hyped, Lyssandra's going to cast Thaumaturgy and change the colour of the flames to an orangey purple.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
You see almost on Louis' side of the room, the lights begin to flicker and change. Louis casts her spell, Feng and Quig cast their spells.
Sorry, I haven't cast a spell yet.
Did you cast message?
Nope.
He doesn't have.
I just spoke to her.
Oh, you messaged him.
But I do have something I could do. I go, what do you think they'll like? Do you think they'll like a puppy? Everyone loves puppies.
Yeah, what do young people like?
What do young people like? What do young people in the material world like?
Here's a suggestion. Fashion.
Yeah.
Minor illusion, a like huge ball gown or something.
Can't be huge. It must be 5 foot cube.
That's still a big ball gown.
I think a puppy. A minor illusion. A really cute puppy that's just sitting and wagging its tail and it's looking out at the crowd, but it's just next to Louis' feet. But looking very excitedly, like, who's gonna pet me? And going,
Louis, make your insight check for me.
Do I get this with advantage because I have Detect Thoughts up?
It is a check, yes. It is not.
Oh yeah, the enhance ability.
Enhance ability is only for charisma checks,
Okay.
so I'm assuming you'll perform at some point, and I wanted you to.
Insight's
easy.
not charisma.
No problems. Ugh. Not wonderful. It's a 9.
Yes, okay, Louis. Despite your team's best efforts to assist you, this is the most hostile crowd.
Oh no.
You see, Bradley's gonna roll. So Bradley steps up and begins almost limbering up as he begins to perform the most energized calisthenics
Oh my god.
routine that he can muster.
No.
You see he touches his hand to a pendant, which supports this spectral griffin visage, which is the mascot of the Starlit Conservatory.
Oh my God.
And he begins to do his routine. He will make an acrobatics check. You see that Bradley is definitely preaching to the choir here. He's pulling out all the old hits from college uni days, and all. You quickly wonder why this room is so empty except for this group, because no one is going to convince these people from Bradley's side.
Yeah.
They whoop, they cheer. You see someone rips open their shirt to see a griffin tattoo emblazoned on their collarbones. And then Bradley finishes with a backhand spring, finishes in a split, and then turns to look at Louis dead in the eyes.
Feng turns to Lysandra and asks, is Louis meant to do the splits and cartwheels across the stage as well?
I think Lysandra just kind of like takes a moment. I really hope that well fixed up her hip.
Yeah.
So if there's frat boys here, are there like, you know, sorority girls as well?
Yeah, kind of. College, there's just college graduates there, yeah.
College kids.
I use the word frat boy very loosely.
So surely we could get the sorority girls to preach to the old ladies.
We can try.
That was determined on the D6 roll, so it could have been other people. It's just he got the most. So first, Louis, I will get you to roll and then describe what your performance looks like.
No problems. I'm going to roll performance as it is my highest skill, and I have advantage from the enhanceability.
Yes, you do.
Beautiful. All right. Dice, please be nice to me. I'm begging you. Okay, that's good. That is a 24.
Oh!
Please.
Please.
Go Louis!
Well, altogether, Bradley rolled a 23.
Yeah.
Can you describe your performance for me and how you woo these people to your side?
100%. So, Louis, in her days before she set up the community centre that she used to run, her job was literally to perform to rich, annoying crowds. So she knows how to work a crowd that doesn't want to listen to her. She steps up, takes out her flute from one of her pouches on her belt, and sets to weaving a story through dance and the notes coming out of her flute. It's almost like the way that the magic forms dances with her, and she tells the story of the journey that her and her party have been on so far. A tale of adventure far from home, a place that these kids would never have dreamed of stepping into. And through her music, they feel as though they are experiencing every step. The highs, the lows, the camaraderie, the devastation, the victory. And she does what she does best, and she tells a story.
All the way from the wormling to the...
I skipped the sewers.
Yeah.
One omission.
History is written by the victors.
And in the story, the dog was just there the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Our loyal companion is the main character. We follow the dog.
Feng also wills another tear to evaporate.
That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life.
With that 24 plus your initial 9 insight, that is a 33 performance check.
Wow.
Which satisfies a miraculous performance. Ooh. You see all of these frat bros, jaws to the floor. Some are tearing up. This other one goes like, bro, that was like legit, like fucking, like, oh my god, that was like, no cap, bro, that was like so, I've never seen anything like, where'd Bradley? And you see Bradley has already disappeared. Probably has already disappeared from the room. With that spectacular performance, you see that not only do you get all of the patrons onto your side of the table, but they start throwing doubloons to you as this is a miraculous performance. You win 10 gold for your victory. You win 10 doubloons from your victory, plus another 50. So that is 60 in total.
60 in total.
And so you spent 5 to enter, and so you have 75 now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my god, go
nice
Louis.
job.
Where would you like to go next?
I suppose we should roll the d6 again.
Or do we roll a d4?
Oh, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
So let's do
1, 2 is the constitution, 3, 4 is the fire. It's a 3. Let's go to the Wyvern's Grotto.
You make your way back out into the antechamber. You see that Bradley is condoling himself in a corner with a very, very large mojito.
I think as she's leaving and Louis kind of like bowing to the crowd, she'll just...
Don't worry about bowing, they carry you out of the room back to the antechamber.
As she's passing Bradley, she pops a little hard candy next to him and just says, "Better luck next time, kiddo. You did real well."
Just like you see, just so much like congestion, snot build up. Just like a frat boy who is having a tantrum after drinking way too much. You move to the third room, the Wyvern's Grotto. You see that there are several people in this room, all of which have hefty bags of doubloons with them.
Ooh.
All of them are muttering about something. You can give me a perception check or insight check.
Let's go.
So, Quig got a natural 20,
Oh, really?
Oh, damn.
which, not a natural 20, I believe.
That is so sad.
That is sad.
And so
really
honest.
sad.
So I should be rewarded?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay's an actual 20.
You see Quig suddenly gets unsettled by the moss underfoot, trips and slams into the side of the wall. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you break your nose.
And I hear dripping.
Yeah.
And I hear dripping.
You're not sure whether it's the dripping of blood.
Bam.
Damn.
Oh,
Louis is gonna cast Healing Word.
I don't like this room. I don't like this one. Let's go out.
Okay.
You get
Wait.
4 points of healing back.
Yeah, that's what he just took.
Yes.
Yeah, Louis applies a band-aid. So sad with that nat 1. Did anyone get higher than a nat 1?
Yes.
Could I have found the Quickling if I had the nat 20?
Honestly, dude, probably.
So I'm so sad.
Louis got a 22.
22!
Damn.
Oh my god.
Lysandra got an 18.
Fang also got an 18.
Nice.
You do hear whispers through some of these figures in the room. They are all very exotic. You pick up some gnomes, you pick up even a dwarf or two, but all of them seem to be... It's almost like you've walked into a place where there is a subculture that has existed for a long time, and you are just being introduced to it. And they whisper things like, "Oh, I can't put any more on Bronze today. She's gone. She's out for today. Look, it's Amethyst all the way. She's been performing best for the last week." And another one says, no, leave Amethyst is all wind, a glass cannon. And then someone says, "I'll take that bet," and piffs a doubloon and strikes them in the temple, and they're like, and fall to the side. And you notice that this is indeed a gambling ring. And
Fuck yeah.
once this is relayed to the party, Quig, you know that some of the students were busted at the Starlit Conservatory for underground wormling fighting, and
Oh my god.
especially if you were taking bets on it.
Quig will just convey that to the party. I think this is what I think it is. And
Fang will ask, "So they're like making wormlings fight down here?
yeah, probably.
That's really problematic."
As you move in and you actually get to peer into the mirror in the middle of the room, you see it's almost like an observation glass for a larger space underneath. And they are not fighting wormlings in here, but racing them.
Oh, fun.
So, how this is going to work, you may place bets on which of the dragon wormlings you think will win the race. You can bet as much as you want, and you will get double the return on a win, half as much a return on second place, and you will make your money back on third place.
Is there someone running this event?
They have not since appeared yet, but this is what it appears to be.
Fang will go up to the nearest group and say, "Excuse me, I was just wondering if you could let me know who is facilitating this wormling race, please?"
You see they gesture to the mirror in the middle, and after a beat you hear as this stocky female dwarf with scars all across her body. She's got one eye missing, a very wiry bristle brush mustache, and she says, "Evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gertruda, and I am the dragon tamer here for this evening. Now, I put them all back in their cages. The emerald wormling got me a little bit, and she holds up a forearm, and there's a considerable chunk missing. She says, well, they are rambunctious and eager to race again, so let's place your bets." And then going down the order of those in the traps, Gertruda lists the wormlings that are competing. There's a brass wormling, a copper wormling, a bronze wormling, an emerald wormling, a fairy wormling, and an amethyst wormling.
Ooh.
This is how it's going to work. You can all put your bets on one horse, or in this race.
No, I know. I was just laughing.
Or you can try and mitigate your losses by spreading your bets out.
King wants to try something though.
Alright, I'll just let you know how it works.
Okay, go.
So you will then roll initiative and take turns to make an animal handling check on behalf of your dragon.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely want to try something.
And depending on the extent of success, depends on how far your dragon wormling moves, whether it moves its full movement, double its movement, or half its movement.
Cool.
Very cool.
Feng will sheepishly walk up to Gertruda and say, "Hi there, ma'am. My name is Feng. Nice to meet you. I don't normally walk into people's places and ask to change the game that they are running. By the way, like, really cool game that you've got here. Or like, never mind. So I was just wondering if you let anyone, like, you know, put their own wormling-esque thing into the race. It's not so much a wormling, but like a bird."
You see it as there's like a sharp inhales from around the room and gasps.
I was trying to do it really quietly.
And Miranda says, "What, you..."
Miranda.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Gertruda says to you all, "What, you wanna go down in there with all them wormlings? After this?" And she shakes her, like, bitten forearm in front of her.
No, not exactly myself, but my good friend Promi, and I'm just going to summon Promi and see what she thinks.
You see she bends down and, like, squints at this small phoenix and says, "Alright, well, if he turns out to be a little chicken nugget, that's on you."
Alright, fuck yeah. Feng's gonna squat down to Promi and go, "This is it, this is the moment we've been reading for, we've been training for this."
And you says, Gertruda goes, "Well, sir, you don't mind if I make a little buck on this, do you?"
What do you mean?
And she turns to the crowd and goes, 50-1 odds on the teeny tiny chicken.
I'll take that.
Yeah, Feng is also like, okay, here's
20
doubloons.
Okay. So
doubloons. Yeah, bro.
I'm putting Feng is putting all his doubloons on Promi.
All the doubloons.
And he's also going to use this moment to, as he's giving Promi this pep talk, he's going to cast Longstrider on Promi to increase Promi's movement by 10.
Now, there is a room full of people here.
Can I do it as I'm kneeling down to him, giving him the pep talk?
You can, but I still want to slide a hand.
I'm going to go for it. Why not? And if someone tells me it's the wrong thing, then I'll stop it and I'll waste the spell slot. I'm happy to do that. Now 20.
Oh my gosh!
You see Feng picks up Promi so gently, like a cups him in his hand, and all you see is these like little teeny tiny bird legs like through the bottom, like chopsticks, and he gently lowers Promi onto the mirror like a duck onto a lake. He kind of swims around for a little bit, and you see that as Feng caresses his waddle, he sinks down, and yes, you cast Longstrider on Promi.
My God.
Promi's movement is now 40 feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That is very good.
Are any of you going to bet on Promi?
Yes.
10 down.
Yeah, I mean, do we have like a gauge on like how many doubloons get us noticed?
I'm going to say you're going to need at least 100 doubloons to get noticed.
Each. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Quig will put his whole 20 on Promi then.
Okay.
Louis will go 50.
Nice.
Sandra will put in the full 20.
Ooh, I'm so sorry if I lose. I've been
How fast are wormlings?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just take the risk.
Feng thinks back to the
Feng
wormling
knows what
they
he's
fought,
doing.
and he goes, all that did was put other people to sleep. Oh no, Premi's going to get put to sleep.
Okay, you see Gertruda begins to race as the race begins. You see all the wormlings muzzled with masks, preventing them from unleashing their breath weapons on each other. This is a pure scramble scratch fest of claws and wings, because clearly Miss Miranda doesn't want to let a whole bunch of dragons loose in her saloon. So this is what I'm going to need is Promi to first roll initiative.
Okay.
This might not be important if you win by a leg, but if you tie with another dragon, this will be important.
Okay.
So I've pre-rolled all of the initiatives for the dragons. Can you roll for Promi, please?
That's a 16.
16. Okay. Let's make your first animal handling checks. As you see, Promi is just kind of like sitting on the track, and while all of these wormlings are like clawing at the gate, and just like gnawing on it, and Gertruda snaps her fingers, and the gates burst open, and like Promi just like looks around curiously. Make your animal handling check.
Quick question, do I still have Louise' bardic inspiration that she gave us, or is 10 minutes past?
Can I flavor it as if like I did it, but I didn't like... I said I was doing it at the beginning of the day, but like putting it actually into effect when we come into the situation that's needed.
Yeah, you can have a bardic.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't use it for the first one, obviously. Okay, first one is an animal handling.
Yes.
Okay. That's a 22.
22.
Nice.
You see, as Feng like coos down affectionately at Promi, just gentle encouragement. You see Feng just kind of like hiccups and then teleports 80 feet. You see two of the wormlings fall behind, only being able to move 30 feet of their movement, whereas the rest of them do make their checks and they move the full 60 feet.
Oh shit.
You see right on Promi's tail is the fairy and emerald wormling.
Primi, don't like hit anyone else, but if you accidentally trip them over, that's all part of the plan.
Alrighty, this is round 2 of 4.
Okay. Second one is an 11.
11. That is not high enough. Promi is only able to make his movement this round.
So would that be
40 feet.
40 feet? Okay.
So Promi is at 120 feet.
Yep.
You see the emerald wormling falls behind, but the fairy wormling does make their check, and they are neck and neck with Promi now.
No.
And you are both 120 feet away.
Okay. Third one.
You see like Promi's again, like just like curiously looking at this thing as he kind of like flares in and out of existence, almost like embers in a bushfire, like flaring up.
Feng starts a chant in the audience for Promi as he makes this third check. Now
You see,
I feel so alive.
I do.
coming down the final stretch, you see the audience in this grotto goes berserk, absolutely berserk. With a critical success, you see Promi almost looks like a blur of light, almost like the actual filament in a light bulb. And you see it is neck and neck right at the end. And with that nat 20 animal handling check, you see it is a photo finish at the end. Promi makes it over the line, and there is a huge scrap between Promi and the fairy dragon.
No!
Dust gets kicked up in the air, wings and tails lash out. You hear Promi crying from within, and as the dust settles, you see the fairy dragon sound asleep with Promi nestled in between its wings like a baby swan on a swan's back. That is a miraculous performance.
Yeah.
So not only do you get your 5-to-1 odds, so 100 gold back, you also get an extra 50 on top of that.
So 150
150 gold for you.
doubloons.
150 doubloons for Feng. 100 doubloons for Quig and Lysandra. You put all your money in, so that's it. You've just got 100. And I have to do maths. Hang on.
50 times 5 is 250.
So what were you at before?
I was at 75.
And you made 50.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you see Louis' sword that she was given by Lysandra may have disappeared, but it is replaced with a stack of doubloons. Now, because they're magnetically attracted to each other, she's leaning on for support.
So I have 275?
You do. As you recall Promy and he flutters back up through the mirror, you see Gertruda comes over to you and says, "How much?"
Thing just like starts shaking his head and waving his arms around. He's like, no, that's not how it works. He's kind of like tied to my soul. I'm a druid, you see, and like normally druids turn into animals, except I like summon an animal form of a wildfire spirit. You know, it's quite complicated. So like there's not, you can't really buy him because like he's me and I'm him. We're one.
You see he then turns to you, Louis, who's standing next to Fang and says, "How much for the furball?"
$4 billion.
You all leave the room stacked with doubloons. You have made such an impression so quickly in this place. As you return to the antechamber, you are greeted by the bartender who has 4 shots enabled on a silver tray of purple and red liquid. And he says, "Well, that is most impressive. We've never had someone make such an impression in our little establishment here since, well, the early days that Miranda established it herself. She would like to see you, if you would allow it." And he gestures to the shots of purple and red in front of you.
Do you want to check on that one for us before we drink it? So we
Detect
set up-
magic?
It is magic.
Fang will ask,
Literally just came from an underground dragon wormling thing. You're like, is this water?
Fang will ask, so does this like mean that we meet with her straight away?
You see he blinks and nods.
Is there like a way that we were having like a really good time. You have a really cool establishment here. Can we go try the 3rd room? Or no, it doesn't work like that.
Well, I mean, maybe we get membership and we can...
Come back whenever. I'm about to develop a gambling problem. Let's go.
No, Fang won't.
What is gambling really costing you?
Yeah.
You see...
PSA comes up in the podcast. Ellis Bonafide.
1 3 double L 6 triple.
That's the reason we have lives.
Yeah.
Well, if you learn how to read and write, you wouldn't gamble. Right. Misinformation. No, you see the halfling says, "Let's just say Miss Miranda would like the opportunity to win back some of her doubloons from you."
Oh. Well, seems like we've got another game ahead of us anyway.
And you kind of get the feeling this is what happens in a casino when you're having too much success. And so now maybe people are starting to ask questions about how successful you are.
I hope they don't question the legality of entering a bird into a wyvern.
Yeah.
There's no rules here that says a phoenix can't play basketball. Do you take the shots?
Quig has a hand on the shot, looking at the rest of the party.
Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Fuck it, let's go.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
Cheers.
Louis doesn't like this. She doesn't trust rich people with money.
Scumbag.
She's following the kids. Alright.
They've already drunk it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck it. She drinks it.
Are
Come on,
you?
Grandma? Say that.
Taking Grandma out to the casino.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's lit.
She's like, I had fun with bingo, and this is just too much. As you drink the shots, you immediately start to feel ill.
Yeah.
And almost like I was going to say, what if it was poison and you all
No.
just died? Oh no. And you start to feel ill, almost like you've chugged a can of Sprite, and it's like a gas bubble is like building in your stomach, and then you finally, as you exhale the most gut-wrenching belch, Fang nearly levels the place.
I was gonna say, it sounds like things about to fart or something.
You feel yourselves, almost as in the expelling of air has decreased your density, you sink through the floor. And that is where we will end our session.
Sick.
Whoa.
Those were some lucky rolls.
Oh
Right?
my god. I was
That
like,
was so
lol, if they crit or get above a DC 30, it's going to be a miraculous performance. They might get one, that'll be cool. And literally one after the other. I was like, no more games for you.
You already have too many
Damn,
doubloons.
you didn't let us have a drinking competition.
That was the most boring one. It was
To be
fine.
fair, I was going to bet 10 doubloons, and then you were like, go higher. I was like, okay. And then I did.
Otherwise, you just would have been replaying games until you got
I was so ready to like subtle spell vortex warp Prometheus.
Oh, for
I
sure.
was like, this bird is going fast.
I nearly, Thing nearly had a
Speed of
moment.
light.
I know, Georgia, you asked whether we were like gonna do underhanded tactics in some of the battles. Thing was so close to turning invisible and tripping Bradley over while he was doing
The
acrobatics.
luck of winning by 1 point.
Right?
I also rolled a luck check for the Bard's room to see if Arduinavir was there or not.
God, that would have been
And
funny.
If he was there, it would have been even harder because he would have been juicing him up with spell slots.
Yeah.
Heckling.
But this is where Arduinavir's been hanging out all summer in a demi
Yes.
plane with his friends.
I had this thought this whole time of like, he said he was coming here for spring break and he had no friends with him, and also
Right.
what was he gonna do? Go to the mines? Like,
Yeah, good point.
what
Good
was his
point.
plan? So I was like, as soon as you said that he was the mascot from the conservatory, I was like, this is
That's so cool, though.
Alrighty, selfless plug for today.
So my selfless plug for this week is for a Aussie-focused indie game studio called Ghost Moth HQ. They are proudly queer and body positive. I have a friend of mine who does the background art for their games. They're just about to launch their new kind of TTRPG-focused monster dating sim. And it looks hilarious, the characters look adorable, and the art is really gorgeous. So I highly recommend going to check out Ghost Moth Games at Ghost Moth HQ on Instagram.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, gang, for that session. It was a lot of fun. And secrets await the next session. Don't forget, as always, to like and follow us on our Instagram page at Down Under Dungeon Podcast. Please also feel free to leave us a 5-star review on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yes, please.
And we will see you next week.
Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
How much?